I have flashbacks of my mother raping me and beating me and torturing me as a child. So I have bad post-traumatic stress. And I didn't mean to run from the cop. I just got post-traumatic stress. And that's what your natural reaction is when you have severe post-traumatic stress like me, from getting beat and raped and tortured by your own mother since you were a child. It causes extreme post-traumatic stress. And I've dealt with it through cannabis and through just friends and talking, and that's how I deal with it, because you can't take that away from a person when they were raped by their mother for years and tortured by their own mother for years. That doesn't go away ever. And that is the cause of my post-traumatic stress. That's why I needed my card renewed. That's why it was going to expire on Christmas. And I went on Thanksgiving, before Thanksgiving, and I called them and they switched the office from the Ridge on First Avenue over to Moorhead. So they locked my records or something. And I was supposed to have a 2-year electronic card in my email, and it wasn't there. And I called and I called and I called and I called and I called. And then all of a sudden, nobody went after the phone. It was only a recording, and they said you have to go online and stuff. And then my computer wasn't working because it was broken. And I was trying to get it renewed, because that's the only thing that helps my post-traumatic stress. I have flashbacks constantly of my mother licking my single fucking.
All right, guys. Today's courtroom wasn't normal, not even close. The second this hearing began, tension could be felt from every corner. A woman appeared on screen, alone, no lawyer, no backup, no protection. But what started as a routine bond hearing quickly turned into pure chaos. The judge opened the file and instantly saw multiple violations, missed programs, ignored conditions, unanswered court orders. And then, the accusations became even darker. A mental health evaluation, never completed. And everyone in that courtroom knew this was only the beginning.
Night and day, and feeding me horrible drugs that she got from her work, because she said she was a medical professional, and she used to work at Access, and she used to work at Prax, and she'd take people's medication and mix their capsules, and then she'd kill them, and then she'd say, oh, this is a code blue, and then she'd get a kick off of it. And she knew I was a good CNA and I was a damn good nurse, and I would never even think about doing anything like that. But my mother's a horrible bitch, and she raped me for years. She did that shit, and she told me about it. It caused severe post-traumatic stress. So I need marijuana to be able to eat. I need marijuana to be able to function. I need marijuana to be able to sleep. And without it, I'm kind of a little bit of a nervous wreck, because even the cannabis oil doesn't really help. I need the flower to be able to eat and to sleep and to have peace of mind. That's the only thing that helps. I ain't taking no pills. When I lived with her, I had Valium. My doctor, Mallory Sporheim, she ordered me Valium for my nerves because I was so shaky. Julie Peterson stole all my Valiums and wouldn't even give me a Valium for my nerves. And then she turned me in for smoking weed when I was legal and I had a card. She's evil. She raped me for years. She did all that stuff. And now she's trying to pull a bunch more bullshit on me. I'm not suicidal. I want to live. I love life. I love my children. I have children. I have to be here for my children. I would never take myself out in a million years. I need to be here for my children. You can't even send your...
The judge asked a simple question: admit or deny. For a moment, the room went completely silent. Then she spoke, and what she said shocked everyone. She admitted some of the violations, but not all of them. She claimed she tried, over and over again, to follow the rules. Phone calls, hospitals, clinics, counseling centers. But according to her, every single door was slammed shut. Insurance problems, rejected referrals, nowhere to turn. But the judge wasn't looking for excuses. Only facts.
It's the school in Lidgerwood without the teachers, knocking them up at 14. And I went to the school and talked to the principal. I talked to the vice principal. I talked to the whole school board. It was all men and one woman. And I showed them Red River Telecom. Nikki Berg was on my phone record 700 times in a month. And I talked to the school board. I talked to the principals. They told me your kid's growing at 15 years old. And then she got knocked up and they let her have a baby shower in the teacher's lounge and bought her gifts and told me I was crazy. Excuse me, what the fuck is wrong with going on here? What's wrong with this picture? I'm not crazy, they are. You know, I just need marijuana to function. It's legal in South Dakota, it's legal in Minnesota, it's legal all around, and I need it for my medicine. I'm not a pill popper like my relatives, you know, and I got Valium for my nerves and she even stole that. So I just need marijuana for my nerves so I can eat, I can sleep, and I can function, and I can work. Because I worked, as soon as I got out of jail, I had a job within a week. I worked at Taco John's. I worked there for 2 or 3 weeks until I got a job at Weimer Oil and Cafe. And I owned a restaurant, Tootsie's Diner on Ledgerwood, for 7 years, ran it basically by myself. I'm a hard worker. I'm a college student. I'm 3/4 done with my undergraduate at science school. I'm going for liberal arts with a focus on psychology. I just paid off my student loans, so now I can go do some more online classes. But my computer got broken. Somebody busted in my house and busted my computer, so now I don't have a laptop. And I'm perfectly sane.
And then, guys, everything took a wild turn. The prosecutor stood up and dropped a bombshell accusation, claims of unstable behavior, resistance during arrest, disturbing reports. The courtroom atmosphere instantly changed. Then suddenly, she interrupted with powerful emotion. "I was never suicidal," she shouted. The entire room froze. Even the judge had to stop the hearing and regain control. At that moment, nobody knew what would happen next.
I just want to smoke my weed so I can eat, I can function, I can work, I can sleep. You know, that's what I have to say. Now you can make your decision.
All right, so here's what I'm going to do. Bail will be set at $5,000 cash or the alternative $10,000 corporate surety. Additional conditions. Defendant shall remain law-abiding. Defendant shall not leave the state of North Dakota without the advance express permission of the court. Defendant shall maintain at least weekly contact with defense counsel. Defendant shall notify the court of any change of address, employment, phone number, or email within 24 hours of any such change. The defendant shall not use or possess alcohol or controlled substances unless prescribed by a licensed physician or medical provider. That includes marijuana. The defendant shall not possess a firearm or other dangerous weapon. The defendant shall sign a promise to appear and waiver of extradition before release. Defendant shall complete a public defender application before release. Defendant shall comply with all currently imposed probation conditions, which are incorporated by reference into this bond order. You must meet with your probation officer within 72 hours of release. You must have at least minimum weekly contact with the probation office. Based on your comments and statements in court, I have significant concerns for your mental health status and your fitness to proceed. The court is ordering a fitness to proceed examination. The court is also ordering a general diagnostic assessment. Defendant shall personally appear for all scheduled court hearings. Your next court date is May 21, 2026 at 9 a.m.
What happened next? No one was prepared for. She began telling a story filled with pain, trauma, and survival. She spoke about hunger, fear, sleepless nights, and inner battles. Her voice cracked, but she kept talking. Every word became more intense than the last. Some listened with concern, others with disbelief. The courtroom transformed from legal procedure into raw human emotion, and even the judge seemed caught between sympathy and suspicion. This was no longer just about probation.
Which is a status conference regarding your attorney and mental health assessment. And on June 18, 2026 at 9:30 a.m., which is your probation revocation proceeding, all of which will occur at the Sargent County Courthouse in Foreman, North Dakota. Ma'am, do you understand the terms and conditions of bail as I've said it?
Yes, sir.
If you remain in custody for longer than 48 hours following today's hearing, you can request a bail review. A bail review doesn't necessarily mean a bail reduction. Bail can go up and it can go down. It could stay the same. But it does mean that you have the right to have a judge review your bail conditions to determine whether they remain appropriate if you stay in custody for longer than 48 hours. Do you have any questions about your right to request a bail review?
No, sir, I completely understand what you said. Thank you.
I didn't hear you or understand you. Can you say that again?
Yes, sir, I completely understand. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Ms. Pfau, any questions about the court's bail order?
No, Your Honor.
All right, and so to be clear, and I understand that there's some jailers that are listening, there are some requirements before Ms. Witasek is released that she must comply with. It won't be good if she's released without those without those conditions being complied with again. So with that, we're adjourned in this matter. Thank you. Madam Clerk, I'll email you a copy of my bail order. With that, we're adjourned in this matter.